Earlier in the show, we saw how awesome the cinematics in Kane's Wrath will be, but they're just a small part of the art direction. It takes an incredible amount of skilled designers, modelers, and animators to create the environment, structures, and units you all know and love. Kane's Wrath is introducing a new challenge for our dedicated artists, the Epic Unit. These larger-than-life elite vehicles are designed to be highly customizable, game-changing units, feared by your opponents. Joining us now to talk about the art of the Epic Unit is Associate Art Director Mike Colonese. Mike, welcome to BattleCast Primetime.
Thanks for having me.
Now, Mike, a lot of the fans have been asking questions about these Epic Units, how they play, how they look, all that stuff. But before we get into that, let's get to know a little bit more about you. So on Command & Conquer 3 Tiberium Wars, you were doing concept art, you were doing modeling, you were doing some animation. With all this kinds of stuff, how many of these skills do you still use as an art director?
Everything. I mean, the project's in various stages of production each day. So we may be doing concept work on an alien and then doing animation for a nod unit in cinematics. So it's a lot of jumping around each day for the artist.
Now, Mike, on CNC3, you were the lead artist. Mm-hmm. With all these different units in CNC3, was there any one in particular that you were just like, man, that unit's awesome?
Definitely the Mammoth tank. It's a classic CNC unit. It was really important for us to get the look for GDI down early. So it's got that kind of functional design, very angular, and very cool. So it was a great leaping board for the rest of the project and getting the rest of GDI in. Sweet.
So now let's get to the Epic Unit, the moment everyone's been waiting for. We have not released any details on the Epic Unit. Nobody knows what it is except the name Epic Unit, which can mean a lot of different things.
Huge.
So, with the Epic Unit, how is it different from, say, a Juggernaut or an Annihilator tripod or even an Avatar?
Well, it's twice as big as any of those units. It's got its own build structure, so it's very expensive, later game unit, and you can only have one out in the battlefield at a time, just like a Commando.
Okay. So I got the suits upstairs to allow us to leak a special image of the Nod Epic Unit. So we're going to pull that up momentarily. When we do, can you just walk us through that? So like the choices you made from an art direction standpoint, different things, where'd you get the inspiration, things like that. Let's pull it up now.
So it starts out as a basic chassis, and it was really important for us to get that kind of Nod evil design. So it's got very sharp angles to it, that smooth Nod look, lots of red glowy lights, and the cool dark Nod texture to it. It also has upgradable hardpoints on it, so depending on what kind of unit you throw inside, it will change the artwork on it.
That sounds pretty cool. So if I drop like a black hand in there, it'll be like a flamethrower kind of thing?
Yeah, you'll get 2 giant flame tanks on the back, or you put a militant in it and you'll get 2 giant rocket launchers on the shoulder. So it'll be very cool for the players, to customize these giant walker robots and then, run them out in the battlefield.
That's pretty cool. Now, unfortunately, Suits Upstairs didn't bite, and I can only leak that one. So the rest of the Epic Units will have to remain a mystery for now. But last episode of BattleCast Primetime, we did see Jim Vassell at Leipzig kind of walk us through some of the new units. So we saw like the Cyborg, and we saw the Shatterer tank for GDI. Can you walk us through some other the new units and how you got the idea for their look and how they act and whatnot?
Well, I mean, we're on the message board each day reading what the fans want, and so getting the hover vehicles back in was really important to us. Going back into the CNC franchise, getting the Cyborgs in there. So it's just we wanted to get what the fans wanted, so a lot of new cool stuff and stuff from the older games.
Mike, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Now go finish Kane's Wrath.